Today we're in Italy, a country steeped in cycling history, and the most famous Italian cyclist of all time is Fausto Coppi, il campionissimo, the champion of champions. And back in the 1950s, he was said to do 250 kilometres as a daily minimum. The country still has loads of epic races, including the longest single one-day race, Milano-San Remo, 300 kilometres long in a day.
But what are some of the top tips that you need to complete your longest ride ever? Well, today in this video, we're going to tell you how.
We'll kick things off with the obvious one, training. Now, if you've got a reasonable amount of fitness and lots of determination, you can just go and hack round and complete your longest ride ever. But with some specific training and preparation, you'll find the whole thing much more enjoyable. We'd recommend around sort of 6 to 8 weeks build up towards your longest ride ever, and just try and sort of build up gradually. Don't rush things, try and do a little bit often, set yourself achievable goals, and yeah, you'll be much more better prepared for it. You know, remember, Rome wasn't built in a day. Well, that was appropriate because we're in Italy. This isn't Rome though, it's La Spezia.
A good aim is to try and factor in one long ride each week, and every week make that ride longer and longer. You also want to work on your overall weekly mileage as well, keep up in that. But remember, it's okay to start rides on your own and then halfway meet a buddy. It'll keep motivation high and keep you going. But remember, not all rides have to be long. Shorter rides are good too if you are short on time. You just need to up that intensity. I did say earlier that training will make things easier, but don't underestimate, it's still going to be really hard. There will be points in the ride that you'll get to that you'll need to be mentally strong, and there'll be points where you'll think, oh, I just can't do it anymore. But you need to keep pushing and keep telling yourself you can do it.
The common thing that people do is they get overwhelmed by the distance that they're trying to cycle. 160 kilometres is a long way, and it just cracks them mentally. Or what people do is they ride halfway and they think, that was really hard, I've got to do all of that again. And that too can just break you mentally. So what sports psychologists do with pro riders is teach them a different technique where they break it down into smaller achievable goals. So you tell yourself, right, my goal is I've got to get to the top of this hill, or I've got to ride the next 5 kilometres. You tick it off, it's easy, and then you just reset and do it again and pick your next goal. And before you know it, you'll be at the end and you'll be on the home straight, you'll be feeling great. But nothing worth achieving is easy, remember that. Buddy up is probably the best way to complete your longest ride on the day. There is safety in numbers and something very motivational about trying to achieve something together. Also, if it's your first time riding far away from your home, it won't feel quite as daunting.
Sharing the workload on the front and reminding each other of the basics to stay on track is important too. But just make sure you choose your friends well. Your longest ride ever will be a lot more enjoyable if you all get on. Main tip alert, fuel up. Fuel up on all the rice and pasta you can. Get your carbo load in on. The day before the event is not the time to skip a meal or go for a low-calorie salad.
It's not. Make sure those glycogen stores are fully topped up, and that way you'll actually perform faster and better on the bike in your event. And we'll continue to eat on the bike during the event too. It's possible to train your body to absorb 80 to 100 grams of carbohydrate. Following this, you'll perform at your absolute best. And don't worry if this makes you a little bit heavier. That's normal. It's water retention from having those carbohydrates. It's not fat, it's just added water retention. It's normal, and you will be faster.
On the day of your long ride, you want to look to eat every 20 to 30 minutes. Now, that might sound like a lot, but you want to maintain well-fueled throughout the day. You want to avoid that dreaded bonk. So it's a lot of food to take, but if you do happen to run out of food, you can always stop at a shop. It's not going to waste that much time. Have you ever heard of the rule of thirds? It's a brilliant marathon running technique which applies brilliantly to long rides. The idea is that you break your ride into 3 sections. The first third should feel nice and easy. Don't go out full gas. The second third, you can push on a little bit, and then the third section and the last bit that's when you really test yourself and see what you've got left. It's definitely better that way around than the other way around and you creeping home. That's not pleasant. On the day of your long ride, make sure to pedal efficiently and within yourself. You don't want to be grinding a massive gear at the start or sprinting unnecessarily. You're just going to fatigue yourself. Ride at a comfortable cadence of around 80 or 90 and don't waste all your energy at the start when you're fresh and excited. It's a long day. You want to ride, keep steady, work your way through. Comfort makes a massive difference on the bike. The last thing you want to be is uncomfortable when you're trying to complete a long ride. Make sure to select a nice comfortable saddle, make sure you have the right cleats. All these little things become big things the further you ride, so don't underestimate comfort on the bike. On the day of your long ride, try not to focus too much on your speed and concentrate more on the advice we've given in this video. Doing long rides is more of a case of slow and steady wins the race, and try and do all the basic things right and you'll be absolutely fine.
Well, those are some of our tips on how to help you ride further than ever before. I hope you found this video useful, and let us know in the comments what your furthest ride has been.
My first ride is actually with you, Ollie. 184 kilometres of Strada Bianchi.
Good day
Absolutely ruined me, but head over to GCN Plus because we have a whole host of amazing long distance documentaries over there that I'm sure you'll all enjoy.
Yeah, some really beautiful rides.